Okay, I was asked to provide some advice on how to select the proper formula to use when you're calculating an interval estimate, a confidence interval estimate for the mean. And it comes down to the standard deviation. If you know the population standard deviation, or if you're given the population standard deviation in the problem, then you select the formula that involves the z-value. Now, in actual practice, the population standard deviation would be considered to be known if you've worked with this population a lot of times historically, and the standard deviation that's calculated tends to be consistently the same value or a similar value. But in the problems that were given in the test, in the textbook, they'll say the population standard deviation or the standard deviation is known to be whatever. In that case, you're using the z-value. If you're not given the population standard deviation, or you're simply given data from which to calculate the standard deviation, then you're using the sample standard deviation, and you have to use the t-distribution, the student distribution. Same format, but different critical value. This comes from the t-distribution table. If you're given a alpha, a level of significance, then you divide that level of significance in half in order to select the proper t-value, and that's it. That's how you distinguish between when you use these two. So once you've decided what formula to use in calculating confidence intervals, if you're going to use your toolkit, open the toolkit, right-click on the space between the two arrowheads in the lower left-hand corner, and scroll until you see the sheets marked CI. They're not in any particular order, and your toolkit may have these in a different order. But CI stands for confidence interval. So for chapter 8, you'll be using the confidence interval for the mean, sigma known, which will use the Z table. CI, mean, sigma unknown, will use the T table. The inputs are simply the sample size, the sample mean, the sample standard deviation if it's given. These would all be given in the problem. You type in the confidence coefficient. The other values are calculated along with the lower limit and the upper limit of the confidence interval. And you see here, it looks up the critical t-value, confidence interval of the mean where sigma is known. Similar layout, but the critical value is the critical z-value. Equations.